Hello, is Nikki. Today I want to talk about sales. Um, and not in a way that, maybe when you saw this title, you're like, so this is what she's going to talk about, is it? It's really not. I'm not going to share figures. I'm not going to just give you some fluffy content that actually doesn't tell you what happens. I'm going to share some of the things that I've noticed, and this is in terms of my business. This is not saying this is the only way to do it, but it's hopefully to give you some questions, some ideas of stuff that might work for you and that might be worth analysing. And this has been something that when I started working with my coach, I wanted to really work on. So when she asked me what I wanted to achieve, I wanted to create a state where things became a bit more predictable. So previously, everything had just been a bit random, and it'd been good random, like lots of other stuff. Things would always pop up, and I would always have a really thriving practice, and I would get auditions a lot. Like, it was all coming. But there was no consistency, really. There was no way of, I guess, controlling it and tracking it. So one of the things that I've been working on since February is really paying attention to my business, to the data. Again, I never thought I would say that, to the evidence, and really focusing on it. And I had so much resistance to this because I never wanted, I guess, the spontaneity and the creativity to be removed from my business. That's like me being really honest. But if I want to grow, I've got to pay attention to this stuff. And I've got to do it in a way that feels really good to me. And so the fact that I'm talking about sales, I guess, is the first point that when people in the marketing space talk about leads or sales or prospects, I know what they mean, but I know also that my business is done on connection and on like, I don't have a formulaic, generic kind of patter or thing that I say. And I'm sure that, for the most part, the meeting is going to have different types of components. But I don't do that. Right, so now I go on to phase 3, and now I bring out this awful sentence like that I know works every single time. I'm far more interested in connecting with that person and really looking at if I can be useful, I guess. So let me tell you some things that I've noticed, and they may apply to your business. So I invite you to perhaps analyze this. Number 1, Fridays and Saturday nights are really busy in terms of my business, even though I'm not working and even though I'm technically closed. I, for the most part, will sell things on a Friday and a Saturday night. Due to the nature of my business, this might prompt a moment of, I can't go to that job anymore. Like, this Friday is the last one and I'm going to hand in my notice on Monday. I can't do it anymore. Or a Saturday night when somebody's trying to get something off the ground and everybody else is out at a barbecue or they're doing something. That's the point where they go, I need help with this personal brand. So even though I'm technically closed, I always seem to make sales on those nights. Even though I'm not kind of actively putting them out there, it just seems to fit with my customers and what they're doing. So the second thing that I guess I know from that is, therefore, I know that this is working, but maybe it's something for you to think about, that you have to make it easy for the people to purchase what they want and when they want it. So the navigation on your website has to be really straightforward, so people can go to the room, to the place, wherever they need it. It's got to have a really great payment system as well. So if we're going for that automation where people are able to come to your online shop or your website or whatever it might be, They want to feel like they can put their payment details in and that they're going to feel comfortable doing that, and it's all going to be very straightforward. The third thing is, what is the next part of that? So do they get to access the stuff right away? Do they get to have what they need? And if so, brilliant. And if not, what do you need to put in place? So I don't want to be doing customer service emails on a Friday or a Saturday night when I'm, going to bed early, or doing something equally rock and roll. But it's really important to have those processes in place, because people talk about freedom, don't they? They talk about passive income and leveraging your time and all of these sort of phrases. But that's what I mean by having these good systems so people can create it. The second thing, I guess the chunky thing that I want to talk about, is I wake up and so many, like a high proportion of people who are inquiring to work with me one-on-one, so they're requiring a discovery call, for example, a lot of them happen after 10 p.m. 10 p.m, 11, sometimes I get a random one at like 5 to 3 in the morning. Like, I'm not checking my phone at that time. Maybe I am sometimes if, you get that insomnia moment. But generally, I will see those and I will wake up to those. So making sure that your discovery system or your process of people contacting you is going to work for you. So I don't want somebody, for example, to be able to book something in my calendar for 7:30 the next day if I'm only just getting the email at 5 to 6. That's too short notice. So making sure that you have those processes and systems in place to qualify those leads. Like, what's going to happen? Where does that person go next? Are you the person to help? What's the next bit going to be? The third thing I want to say is I have a lot of repeat customers. So as I was going through all the people that I've worked with, a lot of people are not only repeat customers and they will purchase the same thing again and again, so that whether that's like a strategy day with me every quarter, or they see me every 6 months, or they've gone through and they've bought lots of my programs or events, I have a lot of the same customers, and sometimes when people come in, it's because one of my current customers has referred them. So what I want to say is reward them first. And this has been very apparent to me sometimes when I've received things from big companies. So I need to look at this, but I've basically been with the same phone company for about the last 13 years or something. And a little while back, they phoned me and they said, who else lives in your house? Are they looking for an upgrade? Are they thinking about doing X, Y, and Z? And I said, what about my upgrade? What have you got for me? Like, I want what's in it for me staying? Like, I've been a loyal customer for 13 years. And they said, oh, no, it's just for new customers only. And I thought, oh, they're missing such a trick there, because they're not rewarding my loyalty. They're not taking care of me first. And that sounds very arrogant, and you might be like, all right, Nikki, it's just a bloody phone. But it made me have an emotional reaction in that way. And also it made me make different decisions about my business. So if people are working with me consistently, if I can give them something, or if I give them free access to something, or additional bonus, or be more available whenever they need me, so give them first dibs, for example, on my schedule, that's what I'm going to do. And that's a really big part of my business. Even more as I'm saying it, I'm like, yes, reward the current customers. Number 4, a deadline, a call to action, they do work. There will be some people who will sit on your email list for years, months, weeks, hoping for the right time. And I will sometimes be in contact with these people. Like, they'll message me and go, hi, I'm really interested in this. And then it'll go cold. Hi, I'm really thinking about this. Oh, they've disappeared. And they're not quite in that decision-making moment, unless there is a deadline. And I do this sometimes in terms of my, if I'm closing an event, I'll be like, listen, this is literally the last time that you can book, because it's tomorrow. Because guaranteed, even though that triggers me slightly, because I'm like, am I going to annoy people? I never want to do that. But one thing I have realized is there are some people who will still message me the next day going, how did I miss this? So you have to get more eyes on it. You have to talk about it way more than you think, but without shame. And this is something that I see so often where people go, did you leave something in your shopping cart, Nikki? Did you forget something? Nikki, you've missed out. This is and there's such loaded shame with it. Like, I've messed up because I haven't made the purchase. I've messed up because I haven't been able to invest at this time. And I want to call that stuff out. We should not be shaming other people for not working with you or missing out or bringing anxiety into people's inbox. For me, it does not work with the way that I want to do business. So whenever I will do it, whenever I will close something down or say it's the last chance to do something, I will always do it with a sense of possibility. Like, imagine if you signed up for this, like, you're going to get these things sorted. It's going to be a great and wonderful thing. That to me feels far more authentic, far more connected, and far more relevant, I guess, for my ideal customers. Number 6, people want to know that they're going to be in safe hands. Do you know what? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, because so many of us are programmed that we don't ask for help. We just keep going and we're very stoic about it and we figure it out ourselves. Even if it takes all day and all night, we keep going and we don't look left and right. And if we did ask for help, we are complete failures. And I don't believe in any of that. Like, if you can get help in some shape or form, get it. Enjoy the process. Make it easier for yourself. And actually, you'll go probably at a faster rate. So what you want to be showing your potential client or your customer that A, you hear them and you appreciate the fact that they've got to this place. They've got to this moment of, I'm going to do something about this. And secondly, that they're going to be in safe hands, that their investment is going to be safe with you, that you are who you say that you are, that you're going to be able to deliver it in a way that's going to get results. And this is what it's all about. It's not just about getting bums on seats. You want people to leave going, oh my goodness, that was great. Like, somebody talked about one of my sessions on Instagram last night and she said her mind was blown afterwards. Brilliant. That's exactly what I want to have. And that was so kind of her to be able to articulate that on the internet, because for me, that's a fantastic result. But sharing things such as social proof, showing what you've done previously, telling people the sort of stories, allowing people to connect with you and your message and what they should kind of get ready for or what they could expect, it's all really going to help with that decision. So what you want to do by the time somebody actually books a call with you to have a conversation with about like working together, it's about almost, it's not starting from zero basically. It's that final sort of, they're 90% sure, and then that 10% is like, I just need to check she's a nice person, or I need to just check that we're going to get on, or I just need to check when this would actually start, or it's kind of the nitty-gritty stuff that you want to iron out. Whereas sometimes people think they want to bring people into a conversation when they're like umming and ahhing. Actually, it's just the final details of making sure somebody is right to get going right now in a way that feels really great for everybody. And number 7, is that my final one? It is. Purchasing is often about emotion and the desired result, not the price. There's so much in that. There have been some things that I have bought and they've been really cheap. And they have been kind of no-brainers to purchase, but they've changed my life. There's been some things that I've bought that have been really expensive and not so much. And why was that the case? Probably because I purchased with emotion. Probably there was something about that experience, about that transaction that I was drawn to in some way. So when people are inquiring to work with you and they say no at the end of it, Even though you might think it's about you, it's about the price, it's that maybe you're not very good at what you do and you need to change your whole career goals, it's probably not about that. It's probably about that emotion. And maybe that emotion, maybe that reaction shows that person, oh my goodness, I'm full of fear now. There's absolutely no way that I could do this. I don't know how to move forward, and I'm in two minds, and what shall I do? And that's absolutely fine. And the best thing you can do in that moment is to let that person go. Is to let them go and do whatever they need to do and then come back when they're ready. So it's not going to be about messaging them all the time. Did you get my email? Have you made a decision on this? It's just about you showing up, continuing to show up. Be there. And it doesn't matter, actually, if you're going to work with this person or the next person, because you're still going to have your job anyway. You're still going to be growing your brand. So don't necessarily feel like you have to convince anybody. If they're not in the right position right now, that's okay. But that is an indication that you need to still keep bringing people into your business. So you never want to get to that thing of, oh my goodness, I need this person or this person to sign up to work with me, otherwise I can't pay my bills this month. You have to have that expansion of lots of different possibilities coming into your business, lots of different prospects. See, that's not a word that I thought I would use, but it will hopefully resonate in that way. Don't get emotionally attached just yet, because things change. People need to work through what's going on for them. I know I've had to with my own purchasing decisions, and sometimes I have had that moment where I thought I was 90% sure, and then I had the conversation and I'm like, no, it's not the right decision. So you have to allow for wiggle room in that way. If you have any questions on this, please leave them down below. I would love to know your thoughts. And I would also like to ask you, where are your sales coming from? What are the patterns of the way that people are engaging with you and purchasing from you? Are you having sales at the moment? That's a big old question, and it's one I've definitely asked myself over the years, because there were times where I wasn't having sales. There was times where I didn't have any clients. So I had to get really good at noticing what was going on. So I invite you to do that. If you do want to increase your sales, if you do want to bring more people in and you're like, I just don't know how to do it, and I certainly don't want to be a sleazy pants, apply for a free 15-minute session down below. I would love to hear from you, and let's make a plan of action. I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.